Hi, this is Zach Meir with the Bulletin Board Heroes here at Box Markets, Wednesday, the 28th of September. And I suppose it's amazing that just in a few days we've broken two key trend lines, support lines on the FTSE, the 2-year uptrend line from spring of 2020 around 7,200 and then 6,970 or so, which is the floor of that March falling trend channel. So we have rolled over so far. We've got the 50 and 200-day moving averages both falling. We've got the plus point maybe that the market's now in oversold territory, RSI around 27. That's the most oversold it's been in a year, which is possibly not surprising. But below 69.70, the risk of the nightmare move down to 66.75 or so, which is the lower support line on that March trend channel. And the way things are going, that could be hit in well, less than a week. So that will be interesting to see if we get into sort of the RSI 20 area, very oversold for the FTSE, whether there will then be a positive reaction. I suppose in some ways there should already be a positive reaction. I think the last time we were down in the worst, well, during the pandemic, the RSI went down towards the 10 area. But otherwise, normally in normal conditions, 30 is the bounce point. We've had a few points there, I think once in 2015 when we were down at 15. But we're getting to the situation, I suppose, that if we had the FTSE below 6,700, RSI below 20, that might be an opportunity on the long side, but clearly not looking good at the moment. On to Bitcoin, which is not currently famous for pleasing people on the long side either. Here we've had yet another failure at this time below the 50-day moving average around 21,000, but right near to that November, the top of the November falling trend channel. That does suggest that we've had the second, maybe final struggle to rally and avoid a move now down into the mid-teens, so 15,000, 14,000, something like that. You can see from the overall trajectory of that November trend channel that the target on the downside could be 7,000 or 8,000 as a worst case scenario, but we haven't broken properly the recent support area, 18,000, 19,000. So only when that happens can we then assume a worse scenario. And you can see there's a bit of an uptrend line there in the RSI window, which will probably be broken today. And that would then maybe be the oscillator signal for a move down by $2,000 or $3,000, at least in the first instance. On to pound dollar, where we've got the excitement of having the IMF telling us what to do now on economic policy, which is always interesting when they come into the picture, as they did in 1976, obviously. Current situation is that we've found resistance basically at towards Friday's old low, which was 108.39. We overlapped, I think, by around 90 points there, but old resistance, old support becoming new resistance, and slow progress on the downside. So maybe we have a partial test of the 103.50 area rather than a full retest. But the RSI now at 14, which is clearly very, very oversold, and even if we do go lower, it'll be difficult in the near term to rush down, as opposed to the rushing down that we've had in the recent past. Looking back, you can see RSI 15 back at the beginning of 2016. So we are at sort of extreme situation there. Although it has to be said, the market didn't rally after that really very much, and it didn't really rally very much after the previous time the RSI was that low back in 2014. So still very bearish, even though we're very oversold, and the risk is below 109 now, looking for 104 still. Over the nightmare scenario would be a move down below parity, so that would take it to the floor of that 2014 price channel as low as 96 cents. So that's the if you're a bear and you're looking for more blood on the streets, that would be maybe an end of year target for pound dollar. Moving on to the stocks, maybe as a bit of light relief, we've got Kistos, which fell all the way back from that peak near 650, and that was basically a resistance line there from last December. Encouraging now that we've bounced off this February uptrend line that was tested in May, and almost exactly fitted the price action. Now the other point to note is that RSI 30 on this particular stock seems to be the points where we have rallies. So we had one in February, and that was a decent one. One in May, and that was a very decent one from 370 to 650. And we're hoping that the latest move, where the lows were 407, will give us maybe something up towards the 50-day moving average area at £5.30 or so. Ideally, the more end-of-day closes we get above the 200-day moving average now at 439, the better. Moving along to stock which also had a big rally but has come back. That is MC Mining. I think there was a fundraise there, but it looks as though we've got a rising trend channel based around the 22 pence area, or 21 pence to be safe. And above that, we could retest the best levels of the recent past around 35 pence plus, maybe over the next 2 to 4 weeks, something like that. At this stage, only well below the 50-day moving average at 7 or 18 pence, really delaying the recovery or rebound argument. One of the rare risers today, in a good way, is MetalNRG. Beautiful V-shaped bull flag there, either side of the 50-day moving average, which is a classic pattern there. 50-day line at 0.1. Above that, looking for the 200-day moving average at 0.17. Best case scenario target maybe over the next 1 to 2 months. Up to 0.25, which is obviously a punchy call, but this is a nice looking turnaround, almost like a cup and handle situation with that V-shaped bull flag near the lows, looking quite impressive. So let's see if we can hold 0.1 pence for MetalNRG. On to Power Metal, which I had a chat with, I think, just a couple of weeks ago. Here we've got this, what looks like a mid-move consolidation. So we break out of that and break through the 1.6 pence level in a meaningful way, end of day close or a weekly close. We could be looking at 2.2 pence, which is the top of that broadening triangle from the end of November. Time frame on that perhaps as soon as the end of next month, although probably November for that. And stop loss on the recovery idea or the rebound idea, 1.4 pence, which is the floor of that flag. 7 Digital, not a stock I normally look at, but we're not exactly sport for choice in terms of potential bullish situations. Maybe that resistance line projection a bit ambitious at the moment, or especially in current market conditions, but 0.5 pence could be on the cards on a 2 to 3 month view. The longer we hold above the 0.2 pence area, which looks like we've had a little bear trap below 0.2 after breaking the main resistance line there from last September around the same level. So above the 0.2 area, looking for the 200-day line at 0.3 initially, and then 0.5 is the best case scenario if you're a believer in that situation. On to Tintra, which has been one of the few good situations of the recent past. Here we've trying to rebound above the 50-day moving average at 169. Recent support around 174, and a bit of an inside day breakout here. That could take the shares back to 250 over the next 2 to 3 weeks, something along that time frame. Moving along to Tertiary Minerals, which has also got a V-shaped bull flag. This looks very enticing, I think is probably the right word. We've got the rising 50-day line, we've got unfilled gap to the upside, bear trap gap reversal, and we've held most of the gains as well, above 0.13, and the 50-day line at 0.12, looking for an eventual breakout here to retest 0.3, even in current market conditions. Be a nice win today if we closed above the 200-day moving average, 0.18 plus. Finishing off with Touchstone, which had a decent run back in August, gapping through the 50-day moving average. The gap, we're still above that gap, so that gap remains unfilled, which is a good sign. Just looking for an end-of-day close above the 50-day moving average at 82 pence to give us maybe a run up towards the low to mid-90s, which was September resistance on the shares. But that rising trend channel is still in place, and there is the hope, maybe not up to 130, but maybe up to the 125 area. At the top of that channel, we can see that kind of destination, maybe on a 1 to 2 month view, something like that. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.